Larry's presented by Bugman Exterminating. Appreciate you, Bugman. And Heathens Kettle Corn. Heathens dropped off some kettle corn, Randy, to toss out tonight at the Northside Cave Spring game.
Yes.
And they gave us a couple of bags. I think Julie's already eaten the whole bag.
There you go.
She loves kettle corn.
Sure.
Who doesn't, right, Randy?
Exactly.
Let's jump on the Hollywood's hotline and bring in our guy, Vegas insider, Lucky Larry. Hello, Larry. How are you?
Well, my question, I'm good. My question was going to be how much actually made it to the game. But
oh, no, man. I mean, it was – what did Dennis drop off, Randy? I mean, like a Santa sack of kettle corn.
It's like a 50-gallon trash bag.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker's actually been like rubbing his shoulder and elbow down so he can throw it all out the broadcast booth to the fans. That's great. All right, let's go to work. I want to start with a game that's coming up tonight. It's going to be James Madison on the road. Louisville's inched up to a 15-point favorite. What's going on here?
Yeah, this spread's jumped about 2.5. And let me just say this real quick. Be careful this week. You had a really good week last week in terms of games.
Yep.
This week's not so good. Next week's really good.
Okay.
So be careful. But this line has jumped 2.5 points. I think everybody thinks this is going to be a shootout. If you look at where the money is 78% of the bets right now on the over.
Okay.
96% of the actual bets.
Ooh.
I see this more of a defensive battle. Hitzler, the defensive coordinator at JMU now, was at Wisconsin and Bama.
Okay.
For that reason, I like JMU getting the 15. It just seems like a little bit much.
All right, very good. All right, that game, once again, everybody, that game is tonight. James Madison at Louisville is coming up tonight. Now let's look at UNC and Charlotte. Didn't go real well Monday night for Chapel Bill. UNC is going to Charlotte. How about that? And Carolina is almost like a 2-touchdown favorite. I'm showing 13 and a half. What say you, Larry?
Yeah, so this thing opened summer at 21.5, Greg.
Oh, wow.
That's how much it's come down. So this is, to me, this is
Charlotte's
like
horrible, Larry.
Listen, they got beat down by 23 points to App State last week, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, this line's not moving. So be careful.
I hear you.
This is almost like Vegas saying we want you to take North Carolina, and of course I'm going to because I think Bill Belichick must win this game by 14. So
How about
for that
that?
reason, we're taking North Carolina.
Okay, SMU. It had a great season last season. I think they're high expectations again. SMU will be at home. They're taking on Baylor, and SMU's like a field goal 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah, so Baylor no-showed last week versus Auburn.
Yeah.
Everybody was big on Baylor last week. Normally, I would come back on this and go with the dog, but for whatever reason, they just did not look in sync. And a lot of things can change in a week, but SMU's at home, only a 2.5-point favorite. They looked good cruising last week. I think Baylor bounces back. This will be a really good game because it's more of a rival, but I like SMU.
Okay. This is interesting that this made your slate. Illinois at Duke. The Illini and the Blue Devils, that's going to be played down at Duke, and Illinois comes in a 3-point favorite. How'd this get on your chart?
Well, two reasons. One, this is probably one of the best games of the week.
Okay.
Hands down. And two, if anybody listened to the podcast when we did it for the ACC, I have Duke high. I am high on Duke.
Okay.
They got the Tulane quarterback Mensah, and they struggled a little bit early on with Elon last week, but then he turned it on and they blew him out. This is going to be a physical game. If you like physical, knockdown, in-your-face football, this is a game. Illinois, and the line hasn't moved much. I think I like home dogs, and I like Duke at home. I think Illinois wins, but this is going to be one of those really big battles.
Gotcha. Tomorrow at noon, right here on Wheeler Media, WPLY, Tony Elliott. And the Cavs look to keep the momentum going. They go to Raleigh to battle NC State. These are both ACC teams. A note here, though, everybody. This is not a conference game. This is one of these rare games. This is not, it will not count in the conference standings. UVA at NC State, Wolfpack favored by 3. Larry?
Yeah, crazy. 74% of the money right now is being bet on UVA. So here's the thing. Last week, UVA looked pretty good, moved the ball, did okay. North Carolina State struggled with East Carolina. Two things I would say. East Carolina and NC State hate each other. That's more of a rivalry game.
Yeah.
East Carolina was ready.
It is.
And two, the public is all over UVA, and for that reason, I'm going NC State.
Virginia Tech will kick it at 7:30 right here on WFIR. Brent Pry and the Hokies, they had some things I think they can feel good about. Still, South Carolina gets the win. Now, here comes Vandy. Vandy rolls in, and we all know what Diego Pavia did to Virginia Tech's defense last year. However, new defensive coordinator, new defense. Virginia Tech's favored by 2.5. How do you see it?
Yeah, and this thing's moving around. It's been down to 1.5 just in the last day or so. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Look, I think Lane's going to be rocking. I think this, yes, is going to be tough to play there. But I would say this: Vandy's played in bigger and louder stadiums, right? I mean, they go to LSU, they go to Alabama, they go to these places. So I don't think that'll be a big issue. Vanderbilt's defense may not be getting the credit that South Carolina's defense was, but I'm telling you now, Vandy's defense is really good. With that said, I think there'll be some points scored on by both. Until Drones 2023 shows up, I can't bet on him.
No question.
So for that reason, I'm taking Vandy plus the point.
You know what, Larry? That is just it just all starts at quarterback. I know Vanderbilt's coming in with a winning quarterback. I have no clue what Virginia Tech's going to roll out there with Kyron Drones. No clue.
Yeah.
Way too inconsistent.
He struggled last week.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go to your locks. Let me see here. I've got 1:15. Let's go to your locks. Iowa at Iowa State. Iowa State is a 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah,
No. Sorry, Larry. Sorry. Let me skip down. Appalachian State and Mississippi State, correct?
No, Arizona State.
I'm sorry. These are Larry's locks. Arizona State and Mississippi State. Arizona State favored by 7.
So last year the spread was 7 when Mississippi State went to Arizona State. This year it's 7 again. They're coming to Mississippi State. To me, that's a head scratcher. Mississippi State got better. So I'll take the points and the home dog plus 7.
Utah State at Texas A&M. Aggies favored by 32.
Bronco Mendenhall, right? That's all I got to say. Utah, he makes things crazy. And
He's a good coach.
Let's not think about next week Notre Dame. Texas A&M has Notre Dame. So they might pull some players and be looking ahead. I like Utah State.
And then the Florida Gators with the toughest schedule in the nation. A little bit of a break this Saturday. South Florida will be there. Florida favored by 17.
Well, I don't know if you watched them last week, man. They beat the living dog out of Boise State, USF did. I'll say this. A lot of people have hopped on Southern Florida. That was a very physical defense they had. Florida will have problems with them, but I think everybody hopped on USF. I'm going Florida at home minus the 17.
Great stuff, Larry. Larry Thomas, our Vegas insider. Lucky Larry, presented on Greg Roberts Live by Bugman Exterminating and Heathens Kettle Corn. Heathens Kettle Corn. Larry, have a great weekend. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
All right, hey, we got to push it up for top of the hour news. A reminder, your NFL game tonight, Randy, I'm showing 8 o'clock on YouTube.